Hey everybody, Abby Haute here. Welcome. Today I have another vlog style video for you. Um, so as you guys know, you guys hear me clearing my throat a lot while I'm on here. And I probably sound nasally quite often because I have wicked allergies. So I found out last week that I am going to need to have yet another sinus surgery. I had one already where they fixed a deviation in my septum and they opened up my sinuses. But as you guys know, obviously you hear me all the time, and a couple weeks ago I had made mention that I had strep throat. I used to get strep throat a lot as a kid, to the point where my throat would almost swell shut. My tonsils would almost swell shut. And even though I did this, they didn't bother to take them out. And this happened several times a year as a kid. And of course, back in the day, they gave you a good old-fashioned penicillin shot in the tush. And of course, you know, nobody likes that. No kid likes that. That was like torment for me, to the point where it grew into this fear of needles, believe it or not. Any rate, so I went to an ear, nose, and throat doctor because I keep getting these reoccurring bouts of strep throat. I had one ear, nose, and throat specialist tell me that they wanted to remove my tonsils. That was the guy who did my deviated septum and opening the sinuses surgery. And because, thanks to, not that he didn't do a good job, but because of fear of having my tonsils removed as an adult, I've heard like horror stories of people saying that when they do it as an adult, it's much harder, and than it is when you're a kid. It's much more rough. And like, I heard horror stories about the immense amount of pain that you're in. Some people have had to do like speech therapy and swallow therapy to learn how to swallow again, after having tonsil removal surgery as an adult. And I thought, oh my God, this is just insane. Do I want to put myself through this, right? So hubby convinced me to get a second opinion, because he knew I was crazy nervous. So I went to this other ENT, or ear, nose, and throat doctor. And because with the first surgery, my insurance, when they did the scan, only my back sinuses were swollen and inflamed at the time. So my stupid health insurance decided that they were only going to pay for him to open up the sinuses in the back. And because the front sinuses and the side sinuses, like up here and in here, weren't affected at the time of the CT scan, he decided that they decided that they weren't going to pay for it. So he only did the back at that time. And we didn't even know this until like I was sitting in the hospital on the bed waiting to be wheeled back to the OR. I'm like, what the hell, insurance? We've gotten this all pre-approved beforehand, and now you're pulling this last minute stunt? Thank you, health insurance. Anyway, so back to the second opinion guy. He seems to think that my troubles are because I'm getting recurrent sinus issues and sinus infections, and it's all, as gross as this sounds, draining into my throat and causing my tonsils to get infected. And this last time that I had it, my tonsils were so swollen and inflamed. They were like so dark red. They were like even more red than my nail polish. They were huge. Like they were look like that far away from touching each other. And there have been a couple times now where I've woke up in the middle of the night when my tonsils have been inflamed and swollen and like gasping for air. And it's really kind of ridiculous. So he's gonna do this, he wants to do this procedure that is called a balloon sinuplasty. Have any of you ever heard of this? If you ever had it, tell me how it was, or maybe don't tell me how it was, because that might freak me out. I don't know. Anyway, if you went through it and you survived and you're better off for it, I would love to know. Because he said that there seems to be it has a 90% success rate, especially with people like me who keep getting tonsil infections and strep throat because of the sinuses. But I have to admit, the only thing that really makes, and of course I'm gonna have to like quit this for I don't know how long, a day, 2, 3, 4. That's gonna be a fun time, let me tell you. But either way, they do this procedure, like I was reading the information that they gave me, and they do this procedure while you're awake, and they give you like a sedative, and they said like no pain medicine or anything like that, and I'm like, oh man, this is like, I don't want to freak myself out or psych myself out, but I just can't like wrap my head around it. I am going to be very, very nervous for this. I'm stressing about it a little bit, but it has to be done because I can't keep missing work, and I can't, keep being laid up for a couple of days while I'm waiting for antibiotics to kick in and feel like crap. It just is not good. So anyway, that's like the big news for me. I'm gonna have to put a temporary pause on my smoking. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Kind of nervous for that. I might get, well, I guess you can't say hangry, because I'm not gonna really be hungry. I'll be hungry for a cigarette though. So maybe it is hangry. But what would you be hungry for? How would that be? What would be a term for that? Put it in the comments. We need to come up with something. Make millions off of our new terminology. Anyway, so just thought I'd share that with you all. I don't have a scheduled date just yet, so who knows when it'll be. I'll try to stockpile my videos for you guys so that while I'm recovering, so that you don't get to see the hangry Abby or the grumpy Abby because she hasn't had a cigarette in days. Yeah, so this ought to be a fun experience. I can't wait. Anyway, there you have it. There's my little what's going on with me vlog style video. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you soon. Bye.